geometry nodes air system is actually not that hard and can get very good results with very simple node setups. Hey guys, it's me again, Caesar, and I'm back with another tutorial. So I know I've been away for some time and I promised you guys a course and I'm still working on it. In fact, that's the inspiration for this tutorial. I've been looking for the female character that I'm working on for the course. I've been looking for a better air grooming solution in Blender, and I started learning geometry just a few weeks ago, and it worked. I found out that it's actually not as hard as I thought it would be. It's very interesting, it's very fun, and it actually really works. And because of that, because of the few things I've learned, I was able to create my own way of doing, like my own air system, basically my own way of doing air grooming, and yeah, in Blender, air grooming in Blender. So I want to teach you guys how how to do this, and so that you guys can also use it for your own projects and see that okay, it's actually not too hard to get good grooms, good air system for your characters. Okay, in this video I'm going to be showing you how to take the regular curve primitives in Blender and use them to control the air system for geometry nodes. It's easy, it's fast, and it's fun. Hope you enjoy the video. Thank you. Okay, let's begin. Well, before we begin, let me get some things out of the way. First, this tutorial will be split into two parts. In the first part of the tutorial, which is this video, I'll be showing you how to I'll be introducing you to these two, which is the try to see the name, the path tool in the curve primitive or Blender, this part two, and I'll be showing you how to groom with geometry nodes like the foundation. So we will be learning these two approaches, and the later on will combine the two approaches, and be able to groom our characters better. So for this first part, it will be an introduction to these two grow air modeling systems. Let's just call it modeling. And in the second part of the video, which is going to drop like a few days after this first part drops, I don't know when it's dropping yet, but if you are watching this video, you've seen it dropped. And yeah, it's going to drop a few days after this first part. And in that video, that's where we are going to actually learn the real air system, the proper air system, where you are going to be able to model, like to create any hairstyles you want with the air system. So this is just, like I said, a foundation, just you understanding the fundamentals behind the final air system that you'll be using. So if you already know how to use the curves part tool in Blender already, this will be an easy video for you, but you should stick around because you might learn something new, and also I'll be talking about the geometry nodes grooming system. So I try to keep the video short, I try to keep it fun as usual, and yeah, it should work well. Also, one other thing is they are doing some constructions around my house, so pardon me if you hear some banging noises or something every once in a while. But I don't know. I've been delaying the tutorial for some time, and they are not done with the construction. So I said let's just do the video. And final thing is you will hear me ramble every once in a while. That's because let me show you. I wrote down the instructions for the tutorial because I don't want to forget to teach anything. You feel me? So let's begin. So for the tutorial video I've prepared this head. It's this character I just sculpted out really quickly for like a friend. And yeah, we are going to be for this For the tutorial, we'll be doing this, the air banks, and I'll be showing you like just the simple theory of air and how to just do it. Also, the concept art was made by Luigi Hell on DeviantArt. So please go show the person some love. This tutorial wouldn't be possible without the person's concept art. So go show the person some love. Thank you so much, Luigi. I love your work. Okay, let's get back to the video. So I just copied these two parts and we just focus on this front. Okay, so let's begin. Um, so um, what is the idea? What's the idea behind the geometry nodes air system that uses air curves to control the air system? I'll tell you the idea now. The idea is to take, let me create this. The idea is to create a path to this path and be able to move it around. As you are moving it around, your air system is changing. You feel me? So this is a lot easier to control than to groom with brushes, at least for me. So this, if you can control this and your air system is listening and following along with it, it's a lot better. Now you are going to be combining the strength of this, the strength which is simplicity of this, and the beauty of air system. But I'll give you more info down the line. But that's the general idea. It's combining the simplicity of this two with the complexity of the air system. So I think that's a very good air system to use. Also, quick disclaimer, I'm going to be teaching you some geometry nodes today, but I am in no way a geometry nodes expert. So if I tell you some terms, just take them with a pinch of salt because they might not be sorry about that. They might not be totally accurate. Okay. So now that we've gotten the disclaimer out of the way, I mean I just started learning geometry notes and I just got decent result recently, but I just wanted to share this. So again, not an expert, but I'll teach you what I know. Now let's begin. Yeah, let's begin now. After 5 minutes into the video, that's wild. So let's start with the curves. Curves, this is what curves are. You just press Shift A, come to curves, you see all of them here. You can use Bezier. That's what some people use. I don't use it. I don't think I've ever used it. I don't think so. I use the path. So pick the path. Okay. Now, if you enter edit mode, the path gives you think they are vertices, but they're like control points. So you can, let me go to isolation mode. Oh, let me pause the video so I can turn on my screen cast keys. Okay, I'm back. The shortcut thing didn't work, so I'm going to assume that you guys are pros already and you won't be needing the shortcut thing. So let's begin. I'll try to say some of the things the keys I'm pressing. I'll try. So let's begin. Where was I? Yeah, the part two. It has control points. So I'm going to go to isolation mode so you can see. With these control points, you can move them. So let's say you want this to go here. Oh, there you go. And you can see the thin line. It's like interpolates, subdivides, and makes the curve smooth. You know, yeah, it's a lot easier to control. You can get really fine shapes. Just you see, just out. That's me going from edit mode to object mode, by the way. Just quickly, and then it has this option down here. If you come down here, you can give it, you know. little bit of depth. And if you enter edit mode, you can press, if you select one of the control points, press Alt S, and you can scale it down, scale it down. That is, scale it down, scale it up, scale it down, scale it. You can. It's a lot easier to control. And the best part is you can control this depth, which is this width, with another shape, which is another curve, and we'll do just that. So let me delete this and create another one yet again. Yeah, path. So I'm going to, like I said, we're going to be trying to create this bank. It's not going to be very, very accurate. It's just something quick. So, and also try this video. Try this video. I'm going to be, hold on, trying to load. Yeah, try this video. Will, what was I going to say? This is not going well. So yeah, throughout this video, oh yeah, I'll be trying to tell you about some of the air fundamentals you need to look after. First of them is yeah, before I do that, let me just place this air here. So like I said, just shape the air. Okay, one of the first air fundamentals is air direction, or some people call it vector. So look at this bank here. The vector of the air direction is like this. It's growing from the scalp, and then it's going whoo, whoosh. You see? Easy, right? Whoo, whoosh. That's the air direction. That's like the simplest. When you are grooming, it's not very simple, but with air curves, it's very simple. So you just need to say, now for the scalp, it's better. You shouldn't do this. Just drag it here. No, for scalp, it's better if you extrude with E. See, it bends slightly, and then you take this. You just need to tell it where it's going. So from here, judging by this, look at this jaw, and we know that it's just slightly beside the jaw, so something like this. And now you have your beginning, you have your end. All you just need to do is figure out the middle. So we know that this one should be around here. You see, just take them, grab with G, and that's it. The side doesn't, I mean, you need to figure it out, but for this tutorial, I won't worry too much about this because I don't have time. I don't want the tutorial to be too long. It should be long, but not too long. So there we go. We have the first air property down, which is direction, air vector. Now the second one is this. Now if you look at this air, yes, you see they are doing something, and that's why I brought this in. They are doing something very interesting. They are doing what they are coming together. This is one group of air coming together. This is another group, and this it is probably not another group. But yeah, yeah, group. And if you notice, I did something similar with this sculpt that I did for the air. This is supposed to represent one group. This is another group. This is another group. This is another group. And yeah, with the real life reference, look at this. The highlights will tell you this is a group. This is another group. This is another group. This is another group. This is another group. You see, even with the braids, this is a group. This is, I think this is another group, and this tiny one is another group. Those are called clumps, air clumps. So if you use this default depth, you won't get crud. You won't get crud. So to get your air clumps, okay, for whenever you are doing most things in Blender and you are trying to figure out how to, best way to do it, you should just keep something in mind. In Blender, in 3D, you are trying to outsmart the system. How can we fake this thing? So how can we fake air columns with this? That's with that's where this comes in, this object. You can tell it, they can give a profile to this thing. Use this, use one other shape to create yourself. That's literally what you're saying. So if you come to object and let's create another shape, which is a curve circle, and then we just move it to the side and I'll scale it down. As I did that in object where I'll apply the scale. Let me just scale it up slightly. So you just need to say object. Oops. Click on this one, object, and then you just say eyedropper. Just pick this. You feel it? So it takes the shape, which is just a circle. Okay. Now, let me split the screen just for the sake of what I'm about to do here. I'll just quickly split it. Yeah, and I'll focus on this. Now look at this. As I change the shape of the curve, look at that. It's changing. You feel it? So with that in mind, if this controls, this is what it's controlling. If you look down here, it's controlling this shape here. Now, with that in mind, we can do this. We can say, okay, take everything, scale it down so that, it's not entirely around. Air clumps are not around. They're like flatter. And you can bring this upward. And one other interesting thing you can do is all these control type, the way they are controlling, I don't really like them. So I can change these to all of them to press V and change it to free. The controls will change to red, and now you can control your points more freely. So I can do this, which is better for what I'm trying to achieve. Can take these two control points and scale them on the Z axis, or is it the Y axis? One of them. And then yeah, just do that. You see, it's already looking interesting. Now to get those clumps, this is one big clump, but to get smaller clumps, you can just subdivide this top part. Actually, you can subdivide everything. And what is this? Just bring this down. Look at that. I'm trying to show you you see, it's already changing. You're getting smaller clumps, and you are just faking what you see in real life. This is a stylized there, but you have to fake. See, we have two now. If you want even more, you can subdivide again. But since I'm only working on the top part here, I'll just subdivide this again. And then I'll just move this part up. Just try to create some variations. If you are looking for something like if you see something you actually want, you have to mess around with this a lot. But since I'm only doing this for the tutorial, I'll just speed through it. I won't make it perfect or anything. So please forgive me, guys. Forgive me. So let's say we are fine with that. Let's imagine we have spent hours on it. So now one other problem is this thing is facing the wrong way. We want it to be, you know, to hooyah. I don't know if you get that, but you want to turn it. So press Control T to turn. Control T to turn this. And you see, it's already following what I want. Now I just need to look at my reference. Now that we have this down, I can just bring this to the side. We might use it later, so I'll just bring it to the side like this. For the reference, yeah, let me try to see. We know the tip is going to be very tiny. Also, you can close the tip. This tip is open. You can close it a few caps. And then I just need to scale this down. For this, scale it down. Maybe I add one more here. You might not need it, but I'm just in case. So, scale it down, scale this down, scale it down. For this to scale it down slightly and just put it inside the air. And this is the reason why we added this so that we can give it this bump as it comes out. And let's just Ctrl 3 again, bring it down, something like this. Something like this will work. But ours is covering too much here, so I'll bring this inside. Maybe something like this. Okay? And we have something decent. So I can go to modifiers G, mirror. You see, mirror it. And I just need to turn off merge. So I can bring them closer together. That's it. Look at that. We have a big clump and we have smaller clumps. I think I went crazy with the clumps, but you get the idea. So we have smaller clumps. And now We just need to duplicate this, you see. Let's create this bigger clump at the back. Because in real life, all these things we have smaller clumps. I'm just trying to teach you. But based on what your reference is, that's what you try to achieve. You feel me? There we go. So Shift D for that. And I just need to, the clump is like ending here. So I just need to scale this down slightly. I need to bring the roots back to where it was before. Mm, try to just move around in the viewport to get it right. Avoid overlapping, so I'll enter this again. Feel me? Yeah. For this, we know that it's entering here, so something around this part should do. Something like this. Something like this. Yeah, something like that. And also, one other thing you can do is press or test for everything to make it thinner. Since it looks thinner here, you feel me? So that's it. It's thinner now. And there you go. You have two. Let me make this slightly thinner so you can see it from the. Maybe I want to be able to see it from the front. Maybe just move it to the side slightly. Yeah, I think that works. And I'll just, instead of, I've created this material already. So I'll just take the material from it. So I'll click this, drag it here. And look at that. We are almost done. I just need to create these two strays. So all you just need to do is press again, Shift D to duplicate it, scale it down, and then press Alt S to make it thinner. Bring it forward slightly. Okay, okay. Bring it forward slightly. There we go. There we go. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Make it slightly thinner. I think it's stopping around the eye part. So there are too much controls for something this short. So you can just press Ctrl X to dissolve some of those control points. And now you have more flexibility. There we go. I mean, we got something decent very quickly. So see how easy it was to control these curves. Now imagine you can control the air system with just these controls. Wouldn't that be amazing? I mean, this looks stylized. In the shader editor, you can make it look more realistic, and I'll probably show you some of the results I got with that. But yeah. So you see, you were able to get this, and there are also other properties of air, but you can't really do them in the viewport here. Like I told you about direction, we did that. I told you about the clumps, we did that. Now there's something called noise. Look at this. For our stylized air, everything is straight, but in real life, air is always bending. Maybe for yeah, you can see it's like whoo, it's moving around. Something like ooh, it's just moving slightly. That's noise. Then if you look at the tip of your air clumps in real life, I don't have a reference for that. Not all of them are coming to this point. Some of them will end here, some of them will end here, some will, they are not all equal. And that's where trim comes in. And also flyaways. Here we were able to do one of the flyaways. But in real life, look at how many flyaways are there. See, so many. Flyaways are air strands that are going crazy and not listening, like conforming to the general air shape. See, there are plenty. You can see them, all these strays. Those are flyaways, or they are called air strays. So we can't really do them here. For the trim, if you want to do with stylize, you do it with the shader. For noise, you do that by hand, actually. So let's say our reference wanted us to do something like this. Just do it. So that's adding noise to it. Physical. manually. And also for the final thing, which is for the trim. Oh, sorry, for the flyaways. You can also do it by hand, but our reference only has like one. So I think we are good. Let me look at the next thing we need to talk about. Okay. I'll now show you guys a possible like something and some results you can get if you spend decent amount of time on your hair. So give me a minute. This is the character I'm working on currently for my next. I don't know when it's dropping, but my next course for YouTube. But let's see. You see, I did this hairstyle with the same method. Let me see if I can go to edit mode. See, the same curves. Can move it around. And yeah, I'm still planning on grooming this character like with particle hair, but I did this before learning geometry nodes. But as you can see, you can get decent results with this method. Very decent results if you put, and also even this were created with the same method. And this, you see, oh, I've applied them already. But yeah, you can get decent results and also look forward to this part of the course. So you look forward to this course. So yeah, I think that's enough. Or let me show you one render I made. I don't have a file anymore, but I'll show you a render. Um, hold on, just give me a minute. Okay, so I lost most of these files, so I just have to show you the pictures. See, this air was made with curves, and you can get really good results. Yeah, really good results if you put your heart into it. Look at this. This is the one I wanted to show you. You can get with the shading. You can get really good results. Like it almost feels like particle air, but it's entirely curves. No particle air at all. See? With just you see, yeah, the air curves, you see the clumps, you see the flyaways, you see, you can just get good results. Oh, this just made me remember that I forgot to mention one thing. Yeah, and that's it. All right, now that I'm back, I wanted to show you one other way to add strays. Look at this. You just need to come back to your control point. I don't want to use more than 30 minutes on this section. So you just need to duplicate some parts, Shift D, and just move it to the side. Let's look at it from here. For the sake of this video, I'm going to duplicate the whole thing. Don't duplicate the whole thing, it's very heavy. But I'll just do it just for the sake of this. And also, you can also do it if your system can handle it. But look at this. You see this tray? These extra bits. Let me duplicate it to the other side and the other side. You can rotate it. You can make it bigger. You can make it smaller. But just look. Let's try to see. You see? All these trays. It creates them for you. It's very good actually. Look at it. You can make it it's very extreme. So you can see, you see? See all those trays. Yeah. It's very nice. And you can get really good result with this. And yeah, that's about it. Now I'm going to take the old air that we did here. I'm going to put them into a collection and call it air curves, I guess. I don't know, air curves. And I'll put the controller inside that too. And I'm going to grab a cup of water and we'll move on to the next part where I'll be showing you how to draw like basic groom with geometry nodes. Eh, how you do it if you were going to do it. I'll be back. Okay, so I'm back and I'll be showing you how to groom hair with geometry nodes. Um, I'll try to keep this part very short because we won't be using a lot of the tools I'll show you. It's just a quick overview of how you do it normally. So let me just turn off this hair. First thing you need to do is create a scalp. Let me turn this off for now. Scalp mesh. So I'm going to take a plane. I should have done this, but I wanted to show you guys how you do it. I don't want to do it off camera. So something like this. I'm going to snap. I hope you guys know how to snap already. So just call me a face, face project, and yeah, from front view, I'll just snap this. Yeah, maybe I should mirror it, mirror with clipping. Good. So now that we have this, I'll just okay. There we go. Oops. Whenever you are doing your hair scalp, yeah, I'm pretty sure you guys know how to extrude, so I don't need to explain it. But whenever you are doing your hair scalp, make it way larger than you need because you might actually need more space than you think. So I know that I only need this area, but I'm going to move it closer to the eyes because I might need it. I just might. So just make it very big. So I think something like this we do actually. Yeah, let me just be sure. Okay, and once I'm done, all I just need to do is add subdivision. Maybe make this a subdivision 2. Control A. Oops, Control A, apply it. And when you are done, you just need to go to UV editing and to you need to unwrap it. You just have to, it doesn't have to be perfect. I just maybe rotate this like this. Does you don't even need to rotate it, but I'm weird, so I'm going to rotate it. You just need to do that, and you are ready. Yeah, then you are ready. Maybe, yeah, it's fine. I'll call it scalp. Rename it to scalp. Good. And then, so geometry nodes. Sorry about that. Geometry nodes. Let me look at the. Hmm. How do I begin? Okay. So there are two ways to approach the geometry nodes here. You can use the modifier stack, or you can use the geometry nodes air system where you control with nodes. I don't think I've used the modifier stacks before, so I just want to tell you that it's possible, but I'm not going to use it. It's very easy to use. I can see some tutorials about it, but we are going to be using nodes because with nodes you have more power. So let's begin. Once you have your hair scalp, you can begin. And the other time we went to curves parts, for this one you are going to empty air. So it creates like a description in XGen, I think. So it creates like a container for your air. So all of Blender will recognize that this is a container for air. So we will just call it banks because we are doing banks, right? Call it banks. And once you do that, and you are clicking on these banks, you come to this drop down. You see that you have just three. Sculpt mode is for the air. So come to sculpt mode, press T to bring down this thing, and I'm going to make it bigger so that I can show you the name. Now, I'm going to run through the important tools just quickly, and I'm going to turn off the edge and show only the scalp and put on my airframe. So the first thing is X mirror. I don't know. I do. Honestly speaking, I don't know how to duplicate air with this with this system. So if you know you are going to be duplicating air, like mirroring it, don't forget to turn this off. If you are doing like center line air, like poo, yeah, you can turn it off. But if you are going to be air and you need mirror, don't ever forget to do it. Because or if you know how to do it, tell me in the comment section. But I just want to let you to. I just want you to know that, Sha. Um, now, now that I've got a mirror down, first one is let's start with add, because that's what I use. Come to this, okay. You have sphere, you have projected, you have count. Count is how many will it add. If you have one, it will add one. If you have two, it will add 2. If you add 3, it will add 3. It's very simple. But it's always on 1 because that's how you groom it. For the length, okay, for a hair, curve shape, this is if you have added multiple hair. So let's say you added this and then you combed it down. Guys, it's hard to see. Maybe I should put on random color. Yeah. If you want to add another hair and you want it to copy, if you add it now, it's adding, but it's straight. But if you want it to copy the shape, first you want it to copy the length and the shape. Let's have a shape. Just copy the shape as close as it is. See, to copy the shape. That makes sense. It helps us. The more you add, the more it will copy. So points count. This is the points count. This is how many segments your hair have as this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Sorry, how many control points? So that's 8. 8 here. Depending on the length of your hair, you have to decide what your point is going to be. The length is how long is the hair strand you add. This is 0.3. So if I make it longer by making it 0.6, that's double the size. And I had, oops, 0.6. Yeah, and I add it. It should be longer. I have no idea why it's no longer. Let me make it 1. That is weird. Oh, there it is. It's working. I think it's the shape that's constraining the length. But yeah, that's the length basically. And then all these ones is just interpolating whether it copies the length, whether it copies the shape, whether it copies the amount of control point it has. Vertices if you want. And that's basically it. Delete, select, all it does is delete. That's all. Density, I barely use it, but it's for quickly populating the hair, the scalps, the scalp mesh very quickly. I barely use it. I don't use it. Yeah, basically. Then you need comb. Comb is very good. These are the 2 options that I use. Sphere is for let me turn off the mirror. So if I'm here and I want to control only this front one, if you put it on sphere, only this front one will be controlled. If you put it on projected, both of them will be controlled. It's like X-ray when you are modeling. You get. So you can just use them interchangeably based on your situation. The snake hook brush, very interesting brush. I love it. This helps you to grow your hair in a very interesting way. So this is the grow brush. Look at the way it grows. It grows in a very lame way. It really ruins your shape, sir. But with the snake hook, you can literally do this. Let's say your hair is supposed to move like this. Whee! You can just drag it. Whee! That's basically it. Whee! 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 You see? Very, very interesting. It's very good. And then for the grow shrink, yeah, grow. It grows. And also if you put it in minus, it shrinks. That's really easy. And projected and sphere are basically the same thing. Scaling, there's a minimum length. So if you want to scale lower than this minimum, you have to reduce the scale. And then the last one I use is slide, which is literally it's a very 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 good useful tool. So let's say you placed it here, but you want it to be closer here. You just pick it. That's all. Yeah, you want it to be here. Just pick the roots and bring it there. You want it to be here. You see? Anywhere, it just slides it. It's very very useful. And that's basically all the tools. Now I'm going to groom the same hair banks with these tools, and you see how tedious it is to do. So let me just delete everything. Let's begin. Oops. Let me bring back the head and remove the wireframe, and then we can begin. First problem you encounter is what is the exact length of the hair, but you don't know. You can only guess. So let's say it's that one that I added before. So I'll add it with the mirror, and then I'll comb it down. Now combing it won't be fun, but let's try. Okay, already it's already too short. So take your snail hook and just bring it. I think it was something like this. Yeah, something like no. Okay, yeah, something like that. Okay, so now that we have one, again, I told you we need to work on the clumps. We need to work on the clumps. So this is where it gets interesting. Please pay attention from here onward. No more joking around, people. It's getting serious now. So I'm going to drag this up. I'm going to drag this up, bring up the geometry nodes editor. Once you do that, once you created this air container, it helps you create this surface deform geometry nodes. Just leave it, don't touch it. Then you will need to create another one, geometry nodes. Put it on top. This surface deform has to be at the bottom. Now all of the clumps and everything, noise, everything we are going to do is going to be inside this one container, this one modifier. So just press new and we'll call it banks. And I'm going to pin it so that when I click on other objects, the geometry node system stays. If you don't pin it, this is what happens. It disappears. But I don't want it to disappear, so I'll just pin it. And there we go. So first things first, you need to decide on the shape of your air curve. And I'm going to do something now. So first shape air curve. Ooh, but nothing is happening. If you try to increase the radius, nothing will happen. This is not a bug, it's something. It's something you need to change. You need to come to EV, right? Because EV, I think EV is powering the viewport. Change this to strip. It changes. You notice that it changes? And then change this to 3. Now, if you increase this radius, it works. So for air, you fiddle around with this a lot, but for your air shape, you just need to look at your reference and try to figure out the kind of air shape you're looking for. So let me make the radius bigger so I explain. So the radius is just for the size of one of the strands. One, not the whole thing, just one. We'll make this smaller later. So shape means that from ear to ear, where is this thing starting? Shape, that's basically what shape means. It just means that from the tip to the root, where is it starting? Now look at this. As I increase the shape, that means it's starting around there, like the fall off of this effect. Look at this. That means that this is it's basically starting around there. The fall off is intense. And then for even more controls, they gave you this. So you can control what the shape of the tip is. You see? And then the size of the root. And then but with shape alone, you can mostly do what you want to do. So for air, it's I would go for something like this, you know, and then just reduce the scale to something that makes sense for the viewport. So something like this, 0.01. That's fine for now. Let me take it back to material so that I can add color to it. Now to add color, sometimes it doesn't work. Like if you come here and then put the color on it. Let me see what the name of the color is. Sorry, the color's name. Let me just name it A. Okay, and I'm going to turn it all back. So if you put A here, sometimes it doesn't work. So for now, I mean you can do it here, but if you don't want to do it here, like, and if it's not working, just remove it. Just need to search for a node called set material node and just put it here and then pick the material. That's all. It's very simple, right? It's geometry nodes is not as scary as you think it is. I mean, it's scary, but for air, it's not as scary. So you have your first two nodes. Clap for yourself. You're almost there. Then the next thing you are going to do for this is very simple. So all you are the next thing you are doing is giving. This is a what you just created is a guide. It's called a guide. This is telling me that okay, this is the general shape and direction of my hair. Now give me other hair that will follow this shape. That's what you're trying to do. You're trying to add more hair that will follow this general shape. So you need to come to air, come to generation, and pick on duplicate air curves. Or you can also search for it. So put this here. Look at that. Look at that. It's already working. So you can just increase the amount based on what you want. Yeah, and it's already working. Um, it has this weird effect it does. So for now, you can just use even thickness to fix that issue, or use tip roundness. One of those two will help you for now. There's a better way to fix it, but it involves a lot of nodes. But for now, use those two. I'm going to use the tip roundness. So amount is for amount. Radius, also this will help you. Drag this to the side. Search for spreadsheet. This will tell you how many air strands you have. So right now you have 426 air strands in this thing. So let's say we are just doing 600 and something. Yeah, I don't know, but let's just say 600. So radius will tell you how far away the children should move from their parents. So something reasonable should be fine. Something like maybe something like this. That's something like this. And distribution shape, I don't know what the heck it does, but it does something. And then you are done. Now the problem is what? You want the air to clump, like come together at the tip. So that's where air guides clump air curves comes in. You see, it's basically doing what you want already. And all you just need to do is plug your guide index here. Sometimes, right now, it seems like it's not doing anything, but sometimes you will need it. Guide index, what it does, I will explain it in the second part. So for now, just plug it here. Okay. And yeah, that's about it. For the yeah, let's just leave it unplugged for now. Let's leave it unplugged. Yeah. For the shape again, shape just means that where is this clump starting from? So I want the clump to start something like, let me look at the reference. That's something like this. Maybe, yeah, something like that. Let me increase the radius. Yeah. So the air is fatter. Or something like this. Hmm. Is that fine? Yeah, you have to mess around with it, but I'm on a timeline here, so I can't really mess too much. So let's just say something like this. Yeah, that's fine. And I think that's basically it. So let's now that we have the node the air system, we can now go into the sculpt mode again. Um so for now I need to turn off the children so that I can see. You can either do this, press M to mute the nodes controlling the children, like giving us the children so we can see the parents. You can also come to the modifiers and turn off the entire geometry nodes air system because the guides were not created with the air system, this system. Or you can just preview, Control Shift, click on the node before we got the children. This is the node giving the children. If you preview before it, you will get it will show you your parents. If you preview this, it will show you this before it does this one. You get so this will preview the parents with the color, and that's what we want. So now I just need to go back to sculpt mode and then add, and I'm going to add a smaller. I'm going to add it and say that I should copy the shape. So I'm going to add it. There we go. I won't copy the length, just the shape. Also, something that might help you is before you add, press, never mind. You figure it out. So I didn't explain this to, which is paint selection. It can let you click on your vertices. But if you want to utilize it, click on this option and it will select the entire shape for you. I couldn't see the controls because I turned this off. So now I can see it and I selected it. And now I can comb only the hair strand that was selected. Yeah, but it's too short. So back to our snake hook and I'm going to just insert it here. See? Comb. And I'll just try to get it right. You see how it's very hard to control when you are combing, but yeah, there are sometimes you have to do it. So it's good to just learn at least the basics of it. There we go. Yeah, that's mostly it. I think that should work for now. Now let's preview what it looks like with the children. Ah, it's already getting there. So just shape it while the children are still showing. Something like this. Maybe we need to slide both of the hair strands so that we can see the middle of the hair. So something like this. Okay. Let me bring back the hair at the back. Okay. There we go. And yeah. And then for the smaller one, you probably need to you probably need to create a new hair system for the strays. You need to create a new hair system for the strays. But just for the sake of showing, let me just try to do it with this hair system. But you realize that it's too big. This hair is too big. So let me see if it doesn't look too bad. Ah, it looks bad. Let me just delete it. You need to create a new hair system, like a system here for the strays to make it work. But that's what I'll cover in the next part of the tutorial. But I just wanted to show you this. And just like that, you are done. Yeah, it's mostly done. You can just see if you do around with the shape, the radius, you know. Oh, sorry, this is the size, yeah. The size of the hair strands. Maybe I should make it 0.001. See, it looks way better now. That looks really, really good actually. Yeah, and yeah, that's about it. And you can mess around the radius, but don't make it too big because of the roots. Maybe something like this, something like this. Yeah. But because we just did that, we have to go back here and slide the parent, the the parent or guide curves back together. Uh, you see, it's not that bad. And we can go to the cycles mode so we can preview it. Okay. So this is not cycles. Look at that. It doesn't look bad. It doesn't look bad. I like it. So if you spend more time with it, obviously it will work out. But I just wanted to show you a quick way to do this. Now, there we go. That is the intro and the fundamentals of grooming geometry notes. You know how to create the scalp. You know that you need to create a UV. You need, you know that what else? Yeah, you know the tools to use to groom. You know a little bit of this node setup. Okay. And yeah, that's about it. You should have decent banks for now. And this is not the only way to propagate air onto the scalp. Let me quickly, it's almost 1 hour. Let me quickly show you before I close. You can also use generation interpolated air, but this is a lot harder to control. First, it disappears because it's looking for scalp, and now you just need to increase the density. It gives better results, but it's very hard to explain and to teach. So we are just going to stick to, if you are familiar with the old blender system, this is the interpolated children and this is the simple children. So we are going to stick with simple, which here is called duplicate air curves. Okay. So now before I close, let's talk about the advantages and mm, disadvantages of of the two workflows. Now let's start with let me this off. Let's start with this curve here. With this one, we're able to do it very, very quickly. It's easy to manipulate, easy to manage. It's almost fun to use. And you see, yeah, it's very easy to use. It's just free. But the only problem is let's go to cycles. You see, it's stylized. You can't see the individual hair strands. I mean, you can fake it with the shaders, but if people zoom in, it will they will be able to tell that it is fake. But it's very easy to use. Now, let me turn this up and bring this back. This one is very hard to use, but it looks very good in cycles. If you go to cycles, you can see the individual hair strands will be moving. And if you put the air shader on it, it looks very good. So how can we take the flexibility of one, the simplicity of one, and combine it with the beauty of the other? And that is the major idea behind the air system that uses the curves to control its children. And in the next part, I'm going to walk you through how to do it. Okay? Good. So, I'll see you in the next part. I'm going to record it now, but I'll see you guys in the next part whenever it uploads. Thank you for watching and bye bye.